Hello everybody, welcome back to the Bad Bookers Wrestling Podcast. My name is Jack and today we are reviewing what was a controversial, to say the least, Monday Night Raw. The Raw after WrestleMania. And as ever, remember to like this video, leave a comment on what you thought of Monday Night Raw, leave a comment on the later videos, see what you thought of NXT and of WrestleMania. Subscribe if you are new or you haven't done so. And let's get straight into Monday Night Raw. We kicked off with the new Universal Champion, Seth Rollins. And he comes out that the crowd are shouting, "You deserve it." And, he was saying, "No, I don't deserve it. We deserve it. Everyone deserves it. We're not going to see Brock Lesnar again as the Universal Champion until Vince decides that he wants to give him it, obviously." He says that he's feeling terrible today after being ragdolled. He's been F5'd on the outside, German suplexed countlessly, ragdolled around the ring. But whatever Brock Lesnar gave to him, he always got back up. No matter what, he got back up and he won the title. After some questionable tactics, to say the least, of the low blow, but he didn't do to Brock what Brock wouldn't do to him. That was his words, and kind of true, I guess you could say. Kind of true. Brock Lesnar's like that. He talks about Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman catching a jet over to Las Vegas. Obviously, Las Vegas being the home of UFC, and saying that, you know what, they can stay there for all I care because I don't want to see him back in this company. And if there's one thing to come from this title reign, it is to be a fighting champ that the people can be proud of, a champ that everyone can get behind. He just wants to defend his belt whenever possible. And then some music hit that no one really expected on a Monday Night Raw. Kofi Kingston, the new WWE champion, came out after he defeated Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. He came out to interrupt Kofi Kingston alongside Big E and Xavier Woods. And he was saying, "Look, congratulations, man. We couldn't wait until SmackDown Live. We couldn't wait until our celebration there. We just had to come out tonight and issue you a little challenge, if you will." At some point, they're all celebrating. Big E managed to do a full split. I don't know how he does it. What a man. What a man. Kofi then jumps on the mic and says that he really liked the idea that the main event of WrestleMania was a winner-take-all match. He really loved that idea. So he issued Seth a challenge for the main event of Monday Night Raw. Winner-take-all. Universal Champion versus WWE Champion. Seth Rollins accepts, and we'll see what happens later on. The winner-take-all. What's going on? Everyone's taking everything. The first match of this evening saw a rematch from last night's WrestleMania pre-show. It was the new Raw Tag Team Champions, Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins, versus the former Tag Team Champions, the Revival. And it was an okay match, nothing to say the least, but it was retained by Zack Ryder and Curt Hawkins after Curt Hawkins rolled up Scott Dawson after a sneaky tag, which the Revival didn't see. The Revival hit a shatter machine onto Zack Ryder. That gave Curt Hawkins enough time to roll Scott Dawson up, pick up the win, and retain the championships for, what are they just called, Ryder and Hawkins? Edgeheads? You can't really call them that now, can you? Baron Corbin then comes out and a chorus of boos and chants towards him. Explicit chants, to say the least. It felt a bit, not as good, but it felt a bit like Roman Reigns a few years ago when he beat The Undertaker, or what everyone thought retired The Undertaker. He comes out and said that he deserves a gold medal of his own after beating Kurt Angle, after ending Kurt Angle's career. He deserves a gold medal of his own, and he wants one tonight. He wants one right now. But instead of getting a gold medal, he got a gold medalist as Kurt Angle once again made an appearance on Monday Night's Raw. He comes out, he's all suited and booted. The crowd are cheering him and whatnot. And he jumps on the mic and says that Corbin was the better man on the night, and he wishes Baron Corbin all the luck in the world. And the two men shake hands, and Kurt Angle just stops and goes, "Bad luck, that is." And Angle slams Corbin straight into the mat, gets up, cheers from the crowd, music going, everyone's having a good time. and then everything changes. Lars Sullivan comes out and makes his Raw debut after months and months after supposedly debuting Monday Night Raw in January, I believe, but unfortunately reportedly having these anxiety attacks. Lars Sullivan finally managed to debut tonight, and he power slams, is it Freak of Nature, is that what it's called? I can't remember. Power slams Kurt Angle into the mat, and then diving headbutt when Kurt Angle was, he was quite a distance away from the ring. Like he wasn't halfway in the ring, so nice leap. Don't really like diving headbutts, but there you go. He didn't hit his head on Kurt Angle's head, so it's fine, I guess. And Lars Sullivan stands in store. It's fantastic to see Lars finally debut. Hopefully he can, hopefully his anxiety's at bay now and it doesn't come back. And hopefully he can have a good run on the main roster finally, because the rumour was he was supposed to face John Cena at WrestleMania. That couldn't happen. Hopefully what happens doesn't affect him too much in terms of booking him and whatnot. We then had a fairly short match. It wasn't long at all. It was about 5 minutes, if that, I think, between Bayley and the returning Alexa Bliss. Finally back in the ring, Alexa Bliss. Hopefully now she can, carry on. Hopefully not get any more concussions and just carry on doing what she does great, and that's wrestling. Other than talking, she's a pretty decent wrestler as well. Like I said, short match. Alexa Bliss dominated the majority of the proceedings here, and then spikes Bayley with a DDT to pick up the pinfall victory. We come back from a commercial break, and the man's music hits. The Raw and SmackDown Live champion Becky Lynch hits the ring, and crowd are going mental and everything, as expected. And she says that the other two were bragging about their CVs, about their resume, saying that Ronda UFC this and Charlotte 8-time this, but neither of them could hold up to the man on the night. And she walked in with nothing, but she walked out of the MetLife Centre Stadium. Is it MetLife Stadium? I can't remember. MetLife, with everything. The man then says to Ronda that, once she's done sulking, Becky's more than happy to wait here until she comes so she could slap her head off, her empty head, I believe she said, one more time. Obviously there was reports that Ronda's broken her hand or something in the match, so I'm not too sure. I'll talk about the match at WrestleMania, obviously, in my star rating thing, so I'm not really going to spoil that here. But she also says that she respects everyone on the grind kind of thing, coming up and wanting to face her for, I assume, both titles. I'm assuming she's not going to defend one of each. And then she said once again that, but once again, I'll be waiting, and once again, I'll slap all your heads off your shoulders, essentially. And then she soaks in the crowd reaction, but as she was leaving, she was about to walk up the ramp, Lacey Evans' music hits. And Lacey Evans comes down to the ring, but this time it was a little bit different. She walked down to the bottom of the ramp, squared off with Becky. As she looked like she was going to turn around, turned background, woman's right to Becky, and a brawl breaks out between Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans. So that looks like it's going to be Becky's first feud. It gives Lacey Evans something to do finally, and you can't really see Lacey Evans win. Surely not. But at least it looks like she's going to be involved. And to be fair to her, she managed to do this brawl in a dress and in heels, while Becky was in jeans and Jordans, probably. I don't know what they were. So, yeah, fair play to her. We finally get Lacey Evans to do something instead of walking up and down the ramp. And Becky Lynch gets her first feud. And it's not Charlotte or Ronda. So fantastic in my eyes. Next match of the night was a tag team match. Aleister Black and Ricochet versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. And it all looks like Bobby Roode and Chad Gable have turned heel. We wanted one of them to turn heel, not both. But okay, at least it's something different. Basically, as they were coming out to the ring, they do that little in the corner TV screen, like promo kind of thing. And they said that we're going to do things how we want to do things from now on. And, they've had this match with Alistar and Ricochet, which Black and Ricochet won after a code breaker, I think, from Ricochet. I can't remember. It definitely wasn't a 6:30. But after the match, Bobby Roode attacked Ricochet from behind, and then they jogged on. So it looks like they've turned heel. I wanted Bobby Roode to turn heel. I think the majority of people wanted Bobby Roode to turn heel, but whatever. Chad Gable in another heel tag team because it worked so well for him last time. At least it's something different, I guess. We then had this weird vignette kind of thing where it was a box and there was smoking. There was smoke coming out of it. And the camera zoomed in on it, and what looked like a bird of some sort, and it later, as we were all working it out, turned into what looked like a buzzard, because Laughter Track played over it, and it sounded like Bray Wyatt. So everyone's assuming it's Bray Wyatt. I'm assuming it's Bray Wyatt as well. So it was like a buzzard puppet kind of thing, and as the Bray's laughing was going on, it was mimicking what Bray was doing. So really weird, really creepy, a bit confusing, but yeah, Bray Wyatt getting vignettes. When's he going to return? Nobody knows. Next up, we had what was billed as Dean Ambrose's last match in WWE as he's leaving. I'm sticking to my guns. I still think it'll work. Even though what happened after the Raw, where the Shield's fisted for the last time, I still think it'll work. I don't think he's going anywhere. Don't go, Dean. Don't go. Like I said, labels as Ambrose's last match, but the bell never rang as Bobby Lashley came out, and Leah Rush was just speechless after what happened last night, after Finn Balor defeated Bobby Lashley for the IC title. He was just speechless. So Bobby Lashley took the mic and said, "Look, Dean, once you're gone, don't worry, I'll look after your wife for you." Obviously, Dean's wife being Renee Young. And Dean, effectively went a bit haywire, started beating up Bobby Lashley. They went all the way up to the announcer's desk, where Bobby Lashley put Dean through the announce table. And it was the first time we had Dean Ambrose and Renee Young kind of looking like a married couple, if you will. They've obviously talked about it on commentary, but it's the first time where, like, even when Drew kicked Dean Ambrose's head off his shoulders, essentially, a few weeks back, Renee Young didn't go and really check on him. Not on camera, anyway. This was fully on camera. So it makes me think it's not over. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we, on that one? He's probably going to go. I'm going to maintain that he'll be back soon. Survivor Series, probably. He'll be back. I'm not wrong. He will be back. We then had an open challenge. And you might think, Finn Balor open challenge. No. An open challenge from the returning Sami Zayn. Obviously been out for 8-9 months. And he says that if you can't go to WrestleMania, they always say it's always best to come back on the Raw after WrestleMania. And, he says that he wants to get back into the swing of things. He wants to face someone. So come on then, let's fight, essentially. And he had to say it a couple of times. No one was coming out. And then the IC champion, Finn Balor, came out, said to the ref, "Put this on the line, mate. Put it on the line." IC title match. We've seen Finn Balor and the returning Sami Zayn. And it was a decent match between the two. It wasn't, fantastic. It was a good match to get Sami Zayn back into the swing of things. Finn Balor retaining his IC championship after a coup de grace, after Sami missed a haluva kick. And so Sami Zayn losing on his return, a bit weird, but understandable. He was either going to do Finn dirty or have Sami Zayn lose on his first night back. So, okay, I can live with it. But after that was where the interesting stuff happened, because Sami Zayn cut a fantastic heel promo on the crowd, on the WWE Universe. Go and watch it. Me describing it to you is just going to do it an injustice, because it was really, really good. Go and watch it. It'll be on WWE's YouTube channel. He was just berating the crowd. The crowd were cheering at the start of it, but by the time Sami Zayn had finished, they had turned around like, "Oh, he's kind of not joking, is he? He's laying into us, yeah? Why are we cheering him?" Go and watch it. Fantastic promo. And Sami Zayn's back. So what more do you want? Elias in the ring, about to do his promo, And obviously last night he got interrupted by the Doctor of Thugonomics, John Cena, and because that was a surprise. I think most people thought it would be John Cena, but not the Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick of John Cena. He comes out to the ring, Elias, and he says that his biggest performance of the year got ruined by John Cena and his stupid rap stuff. But he's out here to show that he is better than Dr. Thugonomics. He's a better rapper than him as well. And he spit some bars. But the one line that was very, very interesting was the last one. Elias's line was, where is it? I've got to write it down somewhere. He said, the next person that interrupts him will be a dead man. And the crowd pops. I'm like, can't be, surely. Can't be. We wait about 30 seconds. Elias looks like he's going to carry on. Nothing's happening. Gong. The Undertaker comes out. He wasn't wrong. There is a dead man. The Undertaker comes out looking the most jacked he looks possible. He sleeps in the gym, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, big boot, chokeslam, tombstone. Elias left motionless in the ring. The Undertaker has come back. Crowd go mental. I'm glad it wasn't a WrestleMania. This now should break the thing that Undertaker is just WrestleMania. Because I don't mind. I don't really want to see him wrestle again, but I don't mind him coming back and doing the thing every now and again. I don't think it's going to hurt Elias much. Really, having John Cena and Undertaker attack him. If it was someone else, possibly would ruin them a little bit. But because it's Elias, it kind of feels like it elevates him. Like he's being interrupted by these big, big stars. Like, it's just elevating him because of what character he is. But if it was like an Apollo Crews or something like that, it would just ruin him. So, it was good to see The Undertaker back. It was good to see John Cena back on WrestleMania, and hopefully John Cena can still go. Undertaker, he looks good, but could he do a 10-minute match? Probably not, but Undertaker returns for the first time since Saudi Arabia, whenever that was, and obviously he's appearing at StarCast next month, maybe. Welcome back, Taker. Just welcome back. The main event then of Monday Night Raw, Kofi Kingston versus Seth Rollins, and this is where the controversy started. Up until this point, I thought decent enough Monday Night Raw. It's not the best Raw after Mania, not by a long shot, but it was decent enough. We had title matches, title retains, Sami Zayn returning, Lars Sullivan returning, The Undertaker returning. So it had a bit of everything, but it just wasn't great. It wasn't bad, it wasn't great, in my opinion. But this is where it started to go downhill a lot. I was going to say a bit downhill a lot. Kofi Kingston versus Seth Rollins, Universal Champion versus WWE Champion. And I'll just read my notes. This is where Raw went completely off the rails. I think everyone in the crowd thought there was going to be a decisive winner. Everyone on Twitter thought the Undisputed Era were going to come out and interrupt the match. Why? What has made you think that would happen? Why? Basically, everyone's got their hopes up for one thing or another. And the bar interfered in the match, which the bar's a really random choice. It's a crappy choice. But it's what was expected. There was not going to be a clean finish in this match. It was what was expected. You could have left this spot for Lars. I would say if it was Lars Sullivan, I would give him the heat that he needs. And, destroy the two championships. You could say that. It doesn't make him number one contender by a mile, but it gives him that heat. It destroys the champions. It lets them know that, he's there. He's the new big thing, kind of thing. But the bar comes out, interrupts, it then turns into a tag team match, which doesn't need to happen. Just let Kofi and Rollins have a really good match, and then the last thing on Raw you see is, if you're going to have the bar, the bar interrupt and then stand tall over both of them. Something like that. We don't need a tag team match at all. Beach balls started to come out. Obviously Cesaro did that thing again where he grabbed the beach ball and ripped it apart. CM Punk chants. I'll never understand CM Punk chants if I'm asked. It's just stupid. The guy doesn't like you. Why are you chanting for him? But it was all understandable at the end of the day. It was all understandable. It was a shit situation to be in, but not an unexpected one in my eyes. But it just left a sour note on Raw. None of the 4 guys could get the crowd back on board. Not even a Kofi Seth picking up the win. Crowd were just lost at that point. So it was an experiment, I guess you could say, from Vince and the creative team. It hasn't worked whatsoever. It should have ended how it did. Interrupted, but don't have the tag team. Probably don't have the bar. The bar was, like I said, people got their hopes up, but I didn't really get my hopes up, and even the bar was a bit like, oh, that's crap. That's the bar, really. So yeah, controversial end to Monday Night Raw. It ruined it a little bit. I'm going to give it a 3-star, because before that, like I said, nothing really was wrong with it, in my opinion. Nothing really was wrong. Lars Sullivan returning was great. Finally great to see that. Sami Zayn returning. We finally got a video package for Bray Wyatt. Becky Lynch and Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans finally does something. The Undertaker, of course, coming back. So everything before that, there was a lot going on. It wasn't great, but it wasn't too bad. And then the main event happens. So, unfortunate. The wrong call by WWE. The fans, understandably, hijacked the main event, if you will. But yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. Like I said, really sour note on the Raw, but as expected. As expected. If you did enjoy this review, please leave a like. Please subscribe if you haven't. Check us out on Twitter at BadBookersWP, on Facebook, facebook.com/BadBookers. Instagram, same /BadBookers. Patreon, patreon.com/BadBookers. Our website, www.badbookers.com. Check us out on all of them. The written review of this will be on the website. And I shall see you again later on for the star ratings, as my voice is starting to go because it's been a long weekend. Star ratings at some point during the day, and then SmackDown Live tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.